let's dig right in. And why don't you just briefly talk about the 5 questions, just rhyme off the question and just sort of a brief answer as to why they should actually ask that question.
Absolutely. So once I got my show off the ground and things started running and running well, I realized, and people started coming to me asking me, how did you do this? Can you teach me how to do it? I realized that way too many people were jumping in without being fully prepared. So the very first question that you need to ask yourself is probably something that will surprise you. Most people go right to the what tech should I use? That's the least of your worries. The first question that you really need to ask yourself is your basic show idea unique enough to attract listeners, to attract people who become subscribers, to attract other opportunities to you, and you're only going to be able to do that if you have a truly unique show idea. There are 300,000 shows that are on iTunes right now. 62,000 of them are active, viable shows, meaning their host updates content on a regular basis, whatever regular might mean to them.
Yeah, so really, so how are you going to stand out amongst that crowd? Is your topic going to be good enough? And that's, I haven't launched my podcast yet, but part of my overall 90-day strategy is launching a video and audio podcast using this content. And in talking to Winnie yesterday, that sort of is formulating in my mind is, how am I actually going to stand out amongst everybody else? What is it that I'm going to bring to the table that is going to attract people and want them to actually listen or watch the show?
Right. So you need to be very focused on solving a compelling problem that a clear segment has. And this problem needs to be something that is so profound that they are actively searching for a solution, and they are then going to be drawn to you for whatever reason that is your core differentiation. But if your show is not unique, don't even bother moving forward until you have a unique show concept. And I have a strategy that I use I call it a slice of a slice, and that's what you're trying to create. So imagine the topic of your podcast is a pizza, right? And then you can just have, you can have all different toppings on your slices, right? So you can have a truly unique slice with the different toppings that makes your show compelling, and people who want what you have are drawn right to your slice of a slice. So that's my little strategy for creating something that's truly unique.
Great. That's some good information. I'm definitely going to be replaying that just prior to me launching my podcast. Question number 2, Winnie. We're just going to speed this up a little bit. Sorry, I know you and I can talk for hours, but most people actually have jobs and stuff,
So question number 2 is, how can I use a podcast to sell my offerings? And John has already really highlighted some of that. It's all about positioning and then pre-selling you, and then having those call to actions that your audience is going to feel are reasonable next steps for them to take. So sometimes it's appropriate to say, buy my stuff, but more often it's appropriate to say, go and get this additional free piece of information so you can learn more. I call them toe dippers. So they help people to really test you out, make sure that you're really real. But a podcast, there's nothing like it for developing that emotional connection.
And how about question number 3?
Yes. Question number 3 is, this is the biggest one. Do I have the resources to plan, produce, and promote the show? So that involves time and money more than anything else. And do I have the support that I need? Do I have the tools that I need? It's, as John will tell you, it's not all about the tech. There are these other skills that you need to have that is part of it. And a big one is, do I have enough content to really have a great show?
So moving on to the number 4.
Right, and that leads perfectly into question number 4. How do I get listeners and attract an audience? So the biggest mistake that I saw other podcasters and other wannabe podcasters make was they would rally the troops who are their friends and their family and their immediate contacts, which that's great. I mean, you definitely want to get them to help you launch the show and launch it successfully. But the problem is if you're not really getting your message out to that core listening audience, you're going to have a really profound drop off that then it's like starting all over again. So yes, rally the friends, but also make sure that you're making inroads into your core audience segment so that you're really setting yourself up for success.
Excellent. So that's key as well, is making sure that when you're launching this, that you are actually have a strategy, not just winging it on a wing and a prayer. It's like, oh, my friends will help me out. That you actually have a strategy in place to not only get the subscribers or the downloads initially, but what is your strategy going to be moving forward over the next 1 week, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, month-to-month basis.
Right, right. It's very easy to get caught up in just producing the show, as you know, because there are all so many moving pieces. But you've got to promote the episodes, and you've got to promote what I call your back catalog, the episodes that you've already done, and you've just got it's this never-ending process of promotion.
Yeah, and that's my biggest challenge right now is. The promotion part. I understand that I actually have a strategy for this particular show, but it's my resources are tied up in creating stuff for the show at the moment. So we actually haven't get into the full promotion, but promotion, the distribution is, without distribution, you can have all the content in the world. It's not going to help you. So number 5.
So then the 5th question is, how do I structure the show to educate the listener, elevate myself, and then inspire them to take action? Because you don't want to have the show so that it sounds like some buy now infomercial. You really want to add value, as you're doing, John, but you want to structure the whole show so there is a process that then when you have a call to action, people go, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. So you've got to talk to the right people, and then you've got to have the right information and make that match.
Exactly. You need to take people on a journey that shows them, that how you actually can solve problems or situations and how you can actually help them without asking for the sale every single time. Now, a lot of these in the show, obviously there's a very subtle hint on a regular basis that, I do coaching and consulting. I help people accelerate their authority. One of the ways is by creating shows like this, podcasting, all the different strategies that Winnie and I both do, that we both know because we were in all of the same courses together and learn from the same people, get coached by the same people. So, there's always that subtle undertone, but it's always about giving value. And I created this whole show for the main purpose of educating the viewers. So that's why I want to get the word out, is I want to help entrepreneurs just like me accelerate their authority and grow their business. I mean, I did it previously with my real estate investing company. I did it when I was consulting another company. I grew them from $1.5 million to $7 million. But now I want to get back into the entrepreneur space. I want to help entrepreneurs because over the last 5 years, just like Winnie, I have a whole new skill set. I have a whole new arsenal of things that I can help people do. And it's all about educating the people in what they can actually do. Give them the information. Here's what you could do. Here's how it's going to affect you. Here's how it's going to help you. And if you want my help, I'm here. You know where I am. Without actually, because Winnie and I are introverts, we're not going to pound on your door and cold call you, but we're going to add so much value that if you want our help, you know where to find us.
Right. And it doesn't mean that you don't have a call to action, because of course you do. But that call to action is usually less than buy now. It is take one step forward. And there's a coach named Andrea J. Lee, and she coined the phrase pink spoon marketing. And that talks about how when you go to the ice cream parlor, they give you this little spoon, they give you a sample. That's really the same kind of mentality that we're pursuing here, and why podcasting is so powerful. You're giving somebody a sample of what it would be like to listen to you, to work with you, to learn from you, and you're showing your perspective and your approach. So when people are ready to take action, they're more likely to say, you know what, she's pretty smart. Maybe I better call her.
Yeah, exactly.